Hi guys, welcome along. It's Irish 2000 Guineas Day, the first classic race of the year. We're back in HQ at the Curragh, 2 days of cracking action, but I'm going to concentrate on Saturday's card and hopefully goes ahead Saturday. We have to survive a 7:30 a.m. inspection to make sure the track passes. As I said, an inspection. They got 34 mils of rain. They're only expecting another 4. Once we don't get any extra, it should go ahead. If not, the car could be moved to Monday. But nevertheless, we've some cracking racing to take a look at. The first race I'm going to take a look at is the first race on the card. It's a 2-year-old maiden over 6 furlongs. We've 12 lining up here. I find it very interesting that Aidan O'Brien relies on one sole runner here for first-time sire Churchill, who I'm hearing great things about his offspring, the Acropolis. He's about 11-4 at the minute in the hands of Ryan Moore. But I'm going to side with Paddy Toomey's Pinar del Rio. He gets my vote here in the hands of Billy Lee, this son of Havana Gold. He had a very good run, and he had a very good run first time out in a 6 furlong maiden at Naas a few weeks ago, coming from off the pace, only to finish 3 1/4 lengths and a neck back in third. I think he'll take all the beating here. Aidan could be running something very special in the race, and if that is, he will take all the beating. But Paddy Toomey gets my vote. The each-way player in the race for me is Master of Peace, a very shrewd purchase from the very shrewd operation that is Michael O'Callaghan. He was 140,000 sterling purchase at the Breeze Ups a couple of weeks ago. We see Michael have a very good horse last year, but he does very well with these Breeze Up purchases. He was one of the top lots in the sale this year. He must have been very good in the clock. And look, he could be an each-way player at a bit of a price. Lee Roach, of course, he's riding fantastic at the minute. The second race on the card is the Marble Hill Stakes, a Group 3 over 6 furlongs. It's a cracking 2-year-old contest with 9 runners taking their chance here. Aidan O'Brien, he's the first 2 in the betting. I'm going to go with Shamie Heffernan's Mount the Entertainer. I like this son of Caravaggio, who is again a first-season sire. I liked his debut. He won a 5.5 furlong maiden in Navan by a length and a half. Stepping up to 6 won't be a problem. Navan's a very stiff track. I remember watching this maiden and thinking this is a bit of a smart performer here. He travelled well. He met a little bit of a pocket, but when he came under a ride, got a bit of a gap. He quickened well, and when Shamie got out, he was only hands and heels, extended very nicely to the line. I think there's more to come from the Entertainer, and that's exactly what he might do tomorrow, is entertain us. Hopefully so. He's about 5-2 at the minute. He gets my vote in the Marble Hill. The third race on the card is a Group 2. It's over 6 furlongs. And I'm going to go with Paddy Toomey and Billy Lee again. Hopefully they can have a double on the day. Soniella, in the very famous silks this time of Maid Lair stud. She was bought in the December sale for 900,000. And it's first start for the colours, not for Paddy Toomey though. This was a very interesting mare last year. Her first start for Paddy Toomey, we seen her last year win a Lister race before winning a very competitive Premier Handicap at the Curragh. It was on good yielding ground. I think she'll handle the ground, although she won't like to be over soft, but I think she'll handle the ground nevertheless. She was only beaten after that run when winning the Premier Handicap. She went on to finish second, and she was only beaten a neck in a Group 3 over the course and distance. But she then went on to be third in a 5 furlong Group 1 behind Glass Slippers. Glass Slippers then went on to be second in a French Group 1 before going to the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint at Keeneland, where we've seen her winning under Tom Eves. That's very good form. That's exceptionally good form. If she's anyway back to that, and Paddy Toomey, of course, is a maestro. She's going to take all the beating here. We've seen money. She's 5-1 into about 7-2 at the minute. I think she'll take the beating here. The fourth race on the card is the feature. It's the 2,000 Guineas. It's over a mile. We've 12 runners lined up here. It's not the strongest contest in the last number of years, but we've a couple of interesting runners. Aidan O'Brien saddles 3 in the race. Now, these 3 runners actually were over Newmarket contesting the English version of the race, but they all ran very disappointing. My each way selection that day was Van Gogh. Shamey Heffernan takes the mount here. I'm going to side with him. I'm going to go with him again here to go close. He won his maiden over the course and distance, but in all of his races, he was super impressive last year. He was winning a Group 1 in France in Saint Cloud in October, but the ground that day, it was heavy. All the signs are pointing that way. We've seen money for it. He was 9-1 about 48 hours ago. He's into 4-1 at the minute. So they're smashing him. They're getting on, and he gets my vote here. Battleground is a very interesting runner. He was supporting the favourite at Newmarket under Frankie Dettori. He's the one for me for a bit of value each way. He's 14-1 at the minute. And look, Van Gogh gets my vote here for the win. But for a bit of value each way, Battleground. The 5th race is a fillies Group 2 over mile. Epona Plays for Willie McCreary. I think she's a bit overpriced. It's not a race I went into in depth. I think she's very overpriced. She was last seen when winning a Group 3 at Naas. First time out over a mile at the start of the season. I just think she ran to a career best that day, and I just think she could take a bit of beating here at about 7-1. She's definitely the value in the race. One of the other races, I didn't really go into depth with much of these handicaps with the way the ground is changing. That's a thing to really, I suppose we'll gauge tomorrow after the first race or two what the ground is going to be really like. But Downforce, he's a bit of a bio, this horse, but he loves this ground. He's off top weight. He's a big ass, but he was a winner over course and distance at the start of the season. But for me, he's just the ultimate. He loves this ground. So I think at 18-1, he's a 6 furlong handicap. You probably get 5 places in the race. He could be a little bit of a fun bet to have in the day. As I will be back for the 1,000 Guineas preview. We'll have a bit more information on what way the track is riding, and hopefully we get to see some great action. Remember, guys, like, share, subscribe, and I will chat to you again very soon. Thank you. Shit.